So in this lesson, we're going to be using greeting cards to motivate students and enhance literacy skills by looking at greeting cards and we're going to be looking at greeting cards and sort of dissecting them and kind of finding out what the author's purpose was for different greeting cards, because we know that different greeting cards have different meanings. So we're going to explore that. And in session 1, we just kind of get introduced to greeting cards and kind of look at the fact that they are made for different purposes, and the crafting style that the authors use create different feelings and emotions and different ways that you're supposed to read the cards to send a certain message. So that's the first one. And also in the first session, which is what I'm going to be teaching you all today, we're going to be looking at the greeting cards and having you guys reading them out loud to practice the fluency and practice reading different words and the highs and the lows and the tone, and just reading out loud in general. And also reading in a certain way to convey a certain message, and understanding that the way a certain book is written or the way it looks is done in a certain way on purpose to be read a certain way. In the second session with this lesson plan, you guys are actually supposed to do a scavenger hunt where we get a bunch of greeting cards and divide them up into different groups and hide them, and then you have to go and find the greeting cards and come back and put them into different categories that we're going to make. We're going to make, before the scavenger hunt, a board with different categories like get well cards, feel good cards, birthday cards, and you're going to put them into those different categories based on their meaning and what the greeting card's trying to convey. And then in the third session, you guys are actually going to make greeting cards that convey a certain message, and you're going to use all the different things we've learned, like big text and all that good stuff, to make your own greeting card to convey a certain message. So we will begin with session 1. How many of you have ever gotten a greeting card, like a card for a special event or anything like that? Chelsea, can you tell me a time that you got a greeting card?
Yeah, I get a greeting card or just a card whenever it's my birthday.
On your birthday? Okay, can you remember a certain card that you really liked?
My grandparents got me a birthday card that had a bunch of cats on it, and it was really happy.
So it made you feel happy and good? Do you remember anything on the card? Like, did it say in really big letters, happy birthday? Was it really colorful and bright?
Really colorful, bright, lots of balloons.
What about you, Kate?
One time when I had surgery, a few people in my family got me a greeting card, a get well soon card.
Cool. And how did that make you feel during your surgery?
I guess it just made me feel good that people actually cared.
Yeah. So the words in the cards and the way they're written and the way they look can make us feel better and can make us feel certain things. Like when Katie had surgery, it made her feel better and comforted even though she was in some pain, and it made her smile. And then when you received a card for your birthday, the kittens and the happy birthday and probably the words in it too made you feel happy and special on your special day, your birthday. So lots of greeting cards do this. So we know that the people who make them have a certain idea in their head of what the way they want to make the person reading the card feel. And everything about the card, everything that goes into the card has that in mind. So the colors, the text, the way it's written, and that's really what we're going to focus on, is the text. Because I want you guys to understand that the way that certain books, because we're going to relate this to books. So it's the same thing with books. The way that some authors write their books, the words they write, the way they write them, the colors they use, how the text appears, that's going to change the way you read stuff. So when we've been reading books in the past, learning to read, we've just been sort of working on pronouncing the words. But what we need to do to be good, fluent readers is start reading in a way that conveys a message in a certain way. Okay? So now we know that different texts, whether it be a greeting card or a book, and the way it's written and what it's saying in the story or in the card, it needs to be read a certain way. Can you guys agree with that? It needs to be read in a certain way so that you feel a certain way. So when they make greeting cards, they make it a certain way so that you will read it a certain way. And it's the same thing with books. Okay? So now what I'm going to do is give you guys a sample greeting card that I've just kind of picked up, okay? And we're going to look at it and kind of see how they make us feel when we first look at it and kind of pay attention to the way it's written and all that good stuff, okay? So I'm going to give you guys each one. This one for you, one for you. Okay, so let's just kind of look at those and read the text and just kind of see how it makes us feel.
Has a lot of bright colors.
Okay, has a lot of bright colors. And how does that make you feel with those bright colors?
Happy.
Happy. And what kind of card do you have, Katie?
It's a feel better soon card.
Oh, so kind of like when you had surgery. You
Yeah.
got a card like that. Chelsea, what is your card?
It doesn't, it's just kind of a general card. It's not specifically like a birthday card or a feel better card. It's just kind of like a general,
Thinking of you,
thinking of
maybe?
you. Yeah, just kind of, you're doing okay. Just a reassurance card.
Okay, cool. Okay, and then how does it make you feel? Kind of the colors?
Yeah, it feels, the green, there's like lots of green. It's really calm, earthy.
Mhm.
It's just kind of making sure that we're doing okay with this card.
Good. Okay. So now we kind of, now that we've talked about the use of the way that colors and text and what it says can make you feel, when we read these cards or books, anything, when we read anything, we need to kind of join those feelings together with what we're reading. Okay. So I'm gonna have you guys practice reading the cards. Okay. So can I have your card, Katie? So let me give you guys an example so you kind of understand in real life what I'm saying. So if I got a feel better card, this pretty feel better soon card, when I first look at it, it's probably gonna make me feel like, okay, this is a happy, good thing. And so when I start reading it, I'm not gonna read it like feel better soon, and then open it up and say, lots of people are thinking of you. I'm probably gonna read it more like, oh, feel better soon. Lots of people are thinking about you today, right? So we don't want to read it just kind of like, because the point of the card isn't it's not to give you a little feeling. It's supposed to make you feel better, uplifted. And the way that the person who sent you the card wants you to read it, or if they were reading it to you, they would want it to be, feel better soon. And it's the same thing with books, like I said. If it's a really sad part, you might want to say, read it kind of sad, like, she had a very bad day. Not, she had a really bad day. Would we do that? Probably not, because when we're reading out loud, we really want to convey the way that the character's feeling and all that good stuff. Okay, so Chelsea, do you want to read? Yeah, let's put it this way, how do you think that the person who's giving you this card would say these words to you? Since you already read your card once and you kind of get an idea of what the card is supposed to do for you.
I think that the person wants me to feel reassured in that, and like kind of validate whatever I'm doing in my life, and just kind of give me a feeling of support and support me.
Yeah. So how would you read? You can just read the inside if you want.
Just the inside?
Yeah. Or go ahead and read the outside too.
Okay. It says, in nature, life is full of seasons and change. There are times of growth and blossoming and times of rest and renewal. Everything has its purpose. And remember too that this is only a season. Your body is doing important work and there are better and brighter days ahead.
Okay, so that was very good. So Chelsea probably wouldn't read it like, here's how Chelsea probably wouldn't read it. Or the person that sent Chelsea this card, if they were talking to her, would not say, in nature, life is full of seasons and change. There are times of growth and blossoming and times of rest and renewal. Would that give her the same feeling? Would that give the same message that the person sending it wanted to send? It wouldn't. And again, we're going to relate this back to books. It's the same thing with books. The way, when you're reading out loud, or reading at all, even to yourself, when you're reading, the way that you read it, you want to make sure that you yourself, and whoever you might be reading to, really gets the feel of what the book's about and how it's supposed to be making you feel in that moment, okay? So Katie, do you want to read your card the way that you think the person who sent it to you would want that to be read?
Sure. It says, feel better soon. Lots of people are thinking about you today, and I just wanted to let you know that I'm one of them.
Very good. Okay, so I already used an example, but we wouldn't read it, feel better soon. They'd want you to read it like, feel better soon. They really want you to feel better soon. And again, same thing with books. When we're reading books out loud or even to ourselves, we don't want to read it in a way that, is just kind of, it's great that we practice learning the words and being able to read the words, but now it's important that we read the words in the book to send that certain message, okay? So you guys did great, and thank you so much. And then next time, again, we're going to be doing our scavenger hunt. I'm going to bring in more greeting cards, and we're going to put them into different groups, and then we're going to hide them, let you guys find them, and then we're going to put them in